What's up, Infected? Welcome to the Quarantine. This is Kickstart Your Week, so if you're not familiar with what that is, this is my weekly segment that I put together every week, and I cover recent Kickstarters that just came out the previous week. Now, with so many Kickstarters and so little time, I generally try to narrow the field down to at most 10 games. And you know, it's completely biased. It's really, I look at the art, I read the brief little description in the thumbnail. If it sounds interesting, then I'll open it up, maybe watch the video, do a little bit of research on it. But I don't dig too terribly far. But that's what this list is. It's just the games this past week that I thought looked interesting. Now, if you like what I'm doing here in this video, check out the Gamerati. They are the only board game focused curators on Kickstarter. I do a weekly podcast with them once a week. It's a lot of fun. They're really cool guys. I'll have a link down in the description to them as well. Make sure you check them out if you like this style of video. Well, let's just dive right into the games. The first game on my list is a game called Valhalla. Now, this one is an interesting Viking game that uses primarily cards, and there's a board, I guess, of different villages around the countryside, and you're trying to conquer those, and you're going to be using, a dice-based combat system, which is, depending on these troops that you send, you get to throw certain amounts of dice, stuff like that, and you're trying to conquer and pillage these towns. Now, what you get from those towns, you're going to bring back and then try to build up your settlement so you can bring more and better troops out to go, pillage and raid again. And overall, it looks really, really interesting. Next up on my list is mainly out of nostalgia. This one is Highlander The Duel. Now, I haven't seen the Highlander movies in forever, but I do remember really enjoying them when I was younger. The battle between MacLeod and the Kurgan, and there can be only one, and that's where that tagline, comes from, is the Highlander. And that's what this game is. It's the Kurgan and MacLeod, and it's a little short, fast dueling card game where you're drafting cards, and of course you know what your opponent picked, and you're matching these 3 or 4, I think, symbols up at the top of the cards. But we line our cards together, and if they match, then it's like a perfect block. But then, if I have these two, but you have these ones here, 2 attack goes through, but you only blocked one of them. And it's got a very interesting, yet very simple little combat mechanic. And I thought it was really interesting. And then after each round, I'm the aggressor, you're the defender, so I'm doing damage to you. And then now it swaps. So now I'm the defender, you're the aggressor, and you're back and forth until there is only one. Now, the game comes with these minis of Kurgan and MacLeod, and I'm not really sure what they're used for, and it also has the Highlander sword as well. Don't really know what they're for, but they look really pretty, so there's always that. Next up is Conflicted Survive the Apocalypse. Now, the designer of this game I actually talked to at Gen Con, and I was going to be demoing the game, and I was going to be able to do a quick review for it, based just off that demo. But several events happened. Essentially, we weren't able to get it demoed because of various different things, which is kind of a bummer. The guy's really cool though, but it looks really neat, and it's got a theme that, in my opinion, isn't really tapped into nowadays. The post-apocalyptic theme. I love it. That's one of my favorite themes. I'm so sick and tired of zombies. I want, Mad Max style, just everything is dead and nuclear war and all that. I love that theme. And that's the theme that this game is. Now, the game looks like it's a base building game with a few Catan elements where you have this board and you're trying to build your settlements around, and you're trying to barter with other people and do a little bit of trading to get what you need. And once your settlement reaches certain requirements, you can recruit more people that can then help you expand more, and so on and so forth. But it does have it seems like a lot of dice rolling to it, which is one thing that makes me a little nervous. Hopefully there's more of a strategic element than, let's just roll dice and kind of see what happens with that. But overall, the video has really good production quality. I watched another video, I guess their original video or something, while at Gen Con, and like I said, really, really good production quality. But the game overall looks like it might be really, really interesting. Now, next up is Legends of Korra Pro Bending Arena. Now, I know absolutely nothing about The Legend of Korra. I've seen a little bit of Avatar The Last Airbender, so I'm kind of familiar with the way the world works. I got nothing against them, I just never got around to watching them. But this one is, you're playing in like the pro bending tournaments or something. So you're going to have, each team is going to have 3 benders, essentially. And you're going to be pushing back and forth, and it's a tug-of-war style game where you're playing these cards. And from what it looks like, you have 3 cards. You're going to be playing these cards. Depending on who you play them on, they do different things. And you're basically pushing each other back and forth into this arena. And all you have to do is either eliminate your opponent completely by pushing them all the way off the field, or you end the game on your opponent's side of the field. But other than that, it's just this constant pushback back and forth, and it looks chaotic and really fun. And it says that it's a sports-style game, which I'm guessing that makes more sense in the terms of Legend of Korra. Last on the list is War Titans Invaders Must Die. Now this one looks like a mixture of something between like Gundam Wing meets the Evangelion mech battles meets Gurren Lagann, and the list goes on and on. It's just a giant mecha beatdown on monsters, and it's fully cooperative, and yes please. So the way this one looks is it almost looks Eldritch Horror style, but with anime mecha, essentially. So you all are a team of, I guess, mecha pilots, or you're the mechas directly, I'm not sure. But you have all these mecha around the board, and it's the world. And I guess there's portals open, and there's monsters coming out, and kaiju, and all those. And you're globetrotting, trying to just lay the mecha smackdown on all these creatures. And it looks insane. And then after you beat down all these people, you have to reveal what's called the final chapter, and then the final chapter reveals, and you have to kill like the final boss. And it looks so cram full of anime mecha goodness. Anybody who likes, again, the aforementioned, Evangelion, Gundam, Gurren Lagann, and those are the ones that come to mind off the top of my head, was probably really going to be interested in this game. And those are the games that I thought stood out this week, that I thought looked really interesting. Definitely you should take a look at it and see if it's something you want to consider. Those are something you want to consider backing. All of the links to these I'm going to have down in the description, so if you're, again, if you're interested in them, check those out. Again, check out the Gamerati if you're interested in this style of show. If you'd like to support me in the show, I will have a link up in the corner down here and down in the description. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, every dollar helps, and I definitely appreciate it. If you're afraid of commitment, I have a tip jar down in the bottom as well for one-time donations if you'd like to do that. If not, stick around, keep watching videos, and have fun. If you're new here, click that subscribe button down in that corner as well. Give the video a like. I read all my comments. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time in the quarantine.